What's up guys, Intentional back with yet another video, and today I figured I'd talk about some of the aspects of Classic that I love. It's pretty easy to focus on the negatives of the game, and I feel that instead of doing that, I'll just do a video of what I love, and then we could do one hating on all the ways the game sucks. So without any further ado, let's just hop into it. For number 1, we have to talk about items. Now when I see items in retail WoW, it really just doesn't mean anything to me. I can't recognize them most of the time, and it's usually transmog. While as in Classic, I can see an item and know what boss it came from and what the player has been through to obtain that item. For example, this guy probably bought a ton of gold from a Chinese website and got carried through and paid 10k for the item. But honestly, it is nice to inspect someone and just know an item. I think it adds to the whole RPG aspect of WoW, and it makes me feel like part of the world. Now this does still happen in the current version of WoW. There are certainly items that drop that are unique and memorable, however they simply do not have the same feeling for me personally. Seeing a corrupted Ashbringer or some other cool item is just always going to be better. Number 2, we have the community. Now this one is a bit controversial because it's simply not set in stone, and community can mean/be different for every single person. However, I will argue that servers are more tight-knit in Classic than they are in retail. There are tons of reasons for this, but I really think that not having a looking for group and other tools helps build the community and forces players to really know each other. I can recognize people on my server in Classic, while in retail there's really only one guy I know. A quick shout out to Mandapause and Proudmore. Not sharding or splitting up the servers really lets you get to know the people that are on daily and doing specific jobs. For example, Nebbles is the guy with Hand of Rack who sits on top of the cart in Stormwind, and he will do any enchant you want. Everyone knows him because you're forced to interact with other players to get things done, and if you want to enchant, well, he's your guy. And that's why I like Classic, because you have a chance to build a reputation for yourself and become part of the community. While in retail, you can do all the content and not be a blip on anyone's radar. Number 3, the leveling. Admittedly, this has actually gotten worse on Classic, but hear me out. Leveling on retail straight up feels like a chore instead of a journey. The leveling is quick, but not too quick, and although you gain abilities through the journey, it doesn't feel like a big upgrade. I was just fine using the abilities before and I wasn't struggling. Yes, the new abilities are nice and they do make life easier, but overall I was okay. In Classic, earning a new ability can allow you to kill a mob that you weren't able to kill before. Your progression is really felt, and you can choose to progress through professions to make your character stronger as well. You can still technically do this in retail, but it doesn't have the same effect, and the items most of the time end up being worse than what you could get through questing. On top of all this, in retail you just queue for random dungeons, get in, kill the bosses, get your XP/loot, and hop out. Try and name one of the people from your last random dungeon group. Honestly, try. While in Classic, when you get a group going, it feels like a mission. You have to get the group filled, head to the dungeon, struggle through the dungeon to earn your loot. Admittedly, this can be annoying, because it can be tough to finish out a group in Classic. Especially since nowadays everyone is looking to just have mages solo the dungeon and boost them up to 60. And that's a topic for a hate video. But overall, the leveling experience just feels so much better than it does currently in retail. Number 4, guilds. Now this isn't to say that guilds in retail are bad or not the same as Classic. You can find a guild and still have loads of fun and find really good connections. However, I don't think it comes as naturally as it does in Classic. In Classic, it really feels like it's a part of the natural progression of the game, while on retail it feels like a choice. You don't have to join a guild. You can easily clear all the content solo, and you don't even have to deal with having to know people. And this is why I love guilds in Classic, because it feels like it's a core part of the game. You are meant to make friends and relationships that are going to push you to experience everything the game has to offer. Like it or not, you're going to be excited to see an item that you won't use drop because someone in your guild is going to get it, and that person more than likely is someone you have done dungeons with or even PvP'd with. I guess this falls more into the community point, but it still stands that guilds in Classic just feel more natural and tight-knit than they do in retail. Number 5, straight up nostalgia / being able to experience it. Now, I'm not sure if this one should even count, but honestly it's been years of listening to people talk about Classic and how it was great. And although I have played on private servers, Classic was still the full experience and I absolutely loved it. Phase 1 was awesome, leveling up and doing dungeons / quests with friends, eventually finding my guild and killing Raggy / Ani. Phase 2 was Phase 2. Phase 3 introduced Blackwing Lair and really added in some hype for big loot and opened the pathway to obtain Thunder Fury. Phase 4 actually gave Moonkid's hit gear along with some really cool mounts and a nice GDKP raid for a quick 100 to 200 gold. Phase 5 gave us AQ40 and AQ20, which is just more awesome loot and had some interesting boss fights. Not only that, but we were able to experience the opening of AQ and go through the whole questline. Mini guilds didn't have this experience or simply weren't able to get the questline done in time. However, I'm happy to say that I was able to experience it all and that our boy Lucifer was able to get his mount. Phase 6 has introduced Naxxramas along with the Scourge invasions, and my hype for Classic has only grown. Naxx has been one of the funnest experiences I've had in Classic, and I look forward to our upcoming raid days. All in all, Classic WoW has been fun, and although it may not have lived up to some of the many tall tales that we've all heard, I have to say it still has been a great game, and I'm glad that I was able to experience it. But those were 5 things I love about Classic WoW. Do you guys agree, or do you have differing thoughts? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, then hit that like button. If you want to see more from me, then hit that sub button. Hope you guys have a good one, and peace!